Tirion Fordring, leader of the Argent Crusade, a failed father, and wielder of the legendary sword Ashbringer. Here are 10 facts you didn't know about him. Number 10. Tyrion was the leader of the Knights of the Silver Hand, an order of paladins first established by Uther Lightbringer. This ties well to Hearthstone, and he is not only a legendary card in the Paladin's arsenal, but also the Paladin hero power creates Silverhand recruits. Number 9. During his early years as an Alliance governor, he encountered an orc hermit named Itrigg. They battled initially, however after the tower in which they clashed collapsed, the old orc saved Tyrion's life. He also taught him about the history of the orcs, who used to be a noble society rooted in shamanism. This opened Tyrion's eyes and turned him into Itrigg's friend of honor. Shortly after, Fordring had to fight his own men, trying to protect his new companion. Number 8. He had to stand trial in front of Archmage Antonidas, Arthas Menethil, and Admiral Taelan Proudmoore, Jaina's father, to explain his sudden compassion for the enemy. He refused to renounce his life debt to Itrigg, considering doing so dishonorable and wanting to be a good example to his son Taelan. The jury decided that he can no longer be a member of the Knights of the Silver Hand, and was sentenced to exile. Uther himself performed a ceremony to strip Tirion of his paladin powers. Number 7. It was not over for Tirion, as his friend Itrigg remained imprisoned by the Alliance. He decided to return to Stratholme prison to free the old hermit. His action helped the orc to escape with some other prisoners, but Itrigg got mortally wounded while doing so. Tirion was full of doubt, but even so he attempted to harness the power of the light, which responded, enabling him to heal the orc. This proved that he was still an honorable man with light's favor, even though he remained a traitor in the eyes of the Alliance. Number 6. An escape from Stratholme led both of them to a new orc camp commanded by none other than Thrall. After hearing their story, Tirion also gained the undying respect of the war chief. He became one of the few humans that Thrall holds in such high regard, which continues to this day. Number 5. Tirion lived out his exile in a small farmstead in the eastern Plaguelands with his trusty horse Mirador. During the Third War, he often fought off the undead scourge. Curiously, Mirador is described by some adventurers as a grey horse and by others as a chestnut horse. An explanation might be that Fordring just gained another horse after his exile and named it after the previous one, but the truth still remains out there. Number 4. Tyrion's son Taelan, deceived by his mother into thinking that his father is dead, became the High Lord of the Scarlet Crusade, an evil institution consisting of fanatics sworn to purge the world of all the undead. Tyrion somehow manages to convince his son to leave the Crusade, only to see him killed in the attempt. Spurred by his son's death, Tirion resolved to reform the original Silverhand into the Argent Crusade, aimed at defeating the Lich King, reasoning that a small force of elite combatants would fare better against the Scourge than a large army, which would provide more bodies to raise. Number 3. In the Battle of Light's Hope Chapel, Tirion receives the sword Ashbringer from Darion Mograine, a powerful Death Knight convinced to change his ways by the Paladin. Upon touching it, he immediately purifies the once corrupted weapon and uses it to fight the Lich King, overwhelming him and forcing him to escape. Number 2. Tirion set up the Argent Tournament and Crusaders Coliseum in Icecrown, where he could test the best warriors the Alliance and Horde had to offer. From the moment of the Lich King's awakening, the exiled Paladin leads the crusade against him and his armies. Number 1. Tirion leads his best men into Icecrown Citadel and faces the Lich King in the Battle of the Frozen Throne. He uses his sword Ashbringer to shatter Arthas' blade Frostmourne that frees all of the souls imprisoned within the cursed blade. The souls that were trapped inside the rune blade turn against the Lich King, giving Fordring and his companions an opportunity to defeat him. After defeating the Lich King, Tirion reclaims his home in Lordaeron and ends his exile. Put your faith in the light, as Tyrion did, and it worked out for him. Guys, if you don't know some of the terms I mentioned in the video, let me know, like maybe Scourge or the Scarlet Crusade is not really familiar. I will be glad to answer in the comments if you ask the questions. And also, if you like the video, please hit that subscribe button, because the next character we have planned for you is Cthulhu, one of the old gods, and I think this is most fitting for the announcement of the Whispers of the Old Gods for Hearthstone. And I would like to prepare some more videos for you, maybe about the Oxaron, N'Zoth, and Yosarj. It's I think like we just need to see the cards to know exactly how to say that. I've been asking developers at Blizzard headquarters how to pronounce these names, and your charge, I think, is still a bit tricky. But this will be it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and see you guys in the next video.